I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Mike Pence, former Vice President Mike Pence, was at the Gridiron Dinner in Washington, D.C. this past Saturday. It's a pretty fancy dinner, everybody get dressed up, tuxedos, and all this money that's made by football players run up and down the field killing each other, knocking each other's head in and giving concussions and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people like to watch it. It pays big money to the owners of football teams, and so they got together and held their dinner congratulating themselves after the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was a couple of weeks ago. By the way, they had the Oscars last night as well. There was nobody got slapped last night at the Oscars the way that Will Smith slapped that boy Chris Rock last year at the Oscars. Well, nobody got slapped last night. But also Saturday night before the Oscars, they have this grid there, and this is big money. This is big money, and probably they invited Mike Pence to speak at this event on Saturday night, mainly because it was big money, and I guess Mike Pence is looking, former Vice President Mike Pence is looking for supporters of the finance. What's it cost to run for president these days? $1 billion or $2 billion? I don't know. Anyway, but it appears that Mike Pence is now aiming his bazooka at Tribulation Trump. By the way, Trump's in trouble up here in New York. This guy, Alvin Bragg. I'm going to get to that a little bit later on, district attorney in New York. I don't think he dropped a bomb, but he shot a bazooka at Trump. He may have missed. He shot his bazooka, and the bazooka may have had water in the tip of it rather than dynamite. But everybody thinks it's especially the liberals and people on CNN. And in fact, I'm going to play a clip from CNN. These people were going bananas. I mean, because they want to see somebody attack Trump. These CNN people, they hate Trump. They hate him. Well, actually, Tucker Carlson said he hates Trump. So Tucker Carlson, I hate him with a passion. I think a whole lot of people hate Trump. Here's CNN, everybody.
Last night, obviously there was this comment that Pence made at this closed-door dinner. We should note it was not on camera. But, Scott, you were there. You heard Vice President Pence. It was the strongest comment yet we've seen from him on Trump on January 6th.
Yeah, I'd never heard him go that far before. And what he said was absolutely true. And, he spoke from the perspective of someone who was in the building when it happened. And he told a story about being there. And he really dressed down Donald Trump and said history will judge him for what happened on January 6th. Not only that, but he also addressed what Tucker Carlson did on Fox News this week, trying to whitewash this as nothing but a bunch of tourists walking through the Capitol. So
I don't care if the cow kicked the calf. I'm not looking to indict Trump. In fact, I'll tell you what.